Hello and welcome back to Gurukul Online Learning. I hope everybody is doing well. Today is yet another compilation and an update to our Riyaz or practice routine. As we are going to grow, as we are going to go, our practice sessions, our practice routines are also going to have to change. Just like the bodybuilders do, they keep on training with more and more weights and they keep on throwing tougher challenges at them just to get better. As I mentioned earlier, it's almost comparable. It's almost, I find similarity in this. I hope that you find too. Uh, so, without further ado, the first thing that we are still going to start with is warming up the right hand. I think it's still the best. I do the same. It's just that my materials are a bit more advanced than what I'm about to show you. So we are going to start by da 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 da. Only there is going to be a little change. I think at this stage the best way to think about Riyadh is, compared to the previous version, what we used to do, or what I at least stated to do, is to time yourself. Each material maybe 2 3 5 minutes, and an overall timing to of 30 minutes to an hour for practice, which is great. But at this stage for development, which is of utmost importance right now, is the best way to practice is, I think, you not only count time, but you start counting cycles or reps, if I may. So for example, if you're playing da 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 da, you're gonna have to find out a cycle. That's challenging enough. So what I do is, in terms of warming up my right hand, I play the sequence that I play, but in this case, I'm gonna go with da 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 da. So and then after every note, I reach sa, and then I come back again. So that's one cycle. So the best way for now is to challenge yourself of how many cycles you can do. So maybe you should try for 5 or maybe even 10, depending on how far you want to push. But we're also going to split our practice time into two parts. So for example, if you have 1 hour of practice every day, you spend the first 30 minutes in warming up, and then the next 30 minutes you practice our composition that we are working on. So you do around 10 cycles of this, and then you rest, and your right hand is warmed up. Also during this time, I think the best thing to do is to also work on clarity, but also work on your posture, how you hold the sitar, since now you should be much more relaxed while doing this compared to previously. So that's a plus point. So you not only look at the sound, you hear the sound and get a better sound. You also look at your hand and see if you could do this. You have maximum output in minimum range. So that's done. The second thing you do, I still do, is I play Saregama Pathanisa Sanithapa Magarisa, because it's really gonna help you open up your fingers along with gammals and knees and the 5 fret jump. So you do that. This time you also do reps. So I always think 30 is a good number for beginners. 50 is also good. It's great. But eventually we're gonna have to do sets of hundreds or maybe even 200s. The more you do, the better it gets. Simple as that. So you play Saregama Pathanisa. Well, speed is also important. You have to pick a speed that gives you clarity, agility, and not much discomfort, but not much comfortable either. So you do around 50 reps or 30 sets of this. You come back to sa, you come from sa to sa, and then back again. That makes one cycle. The third thing you need to do, I think, right now, is you need to activate this ability to kind of jump through multiple notes. So for that, you have this other practice that we already went over, which is a palta. So you play dhanisa dhanisa. So and then you come back from over here to sa maybe, and then come back here again. So that's going to give you one cycle. You could do perhaps 10 cycles of this, and each time you're going to practice something different. It's gonna affect different muscles in your body parts. So for example, pulling on this should hurt somewhere around here. So that's not a bad thing. That's an indicator that you're doing the right thing. Should hurt right around here. And when you're playing saregama pathanisa sanithaba magare on frets, your triceps may hurt just a bit. So that's an indication you're doing the right thing. Eventually it's going to go away. And when you're going to practice something like this, which involves a lot of finger movement, maybe this portion and this portion may hurt. So if that hurts, that's telling you, and it's an indicator that you're doing the right thing. So when that is done, now it's time for gamak. So as we already have done this gamak exercise, I think the fourth thing that you should practice is gamak. So you do that, same rule. You start from sa and go to ga and then back again. That gives you one cycle. So you could do 10 of this. So for now, I think this is the best practice. Oh, I almost forgot. Another very important practice is mochana that we discussed very recently. So it's padhanisa. So same rule, you start from pa and end here and then back again. That gives you one cycle. So I would say you could give yourself 5 cycles of this. So all this provided that you are doing well and not letting yourself escape. This, I guarantee, is going to bring you amazing results every week by the end of each week, provided that you're practicing every day and doing this the proper way. I guarantee that you are going to be amazed at yourself at the end of each week. And the other half is, I am not going to go into that because we've already been through that. You just turn on your Tabla app and sit down with your composition. You do this regularly and it's going to be fine. Thank you. I hope the lessons are helping you out. Write to us. We always wait. Take care. Until next time.